What is the difference in score between a 200-yard tee shot and a 300-yard tee shot, and where do the differences come in? We're going to play 6,500-yard tees to see the difference. The first difference you're going to notice is that the landing area at 200 yards is often going to be a lot wider than at 300 yards, and that's for a reason: to defend the golf course. A much longer approach shot than the driver, but when we have a longer club in hand, we just accept that the dispersion left and right, where your ball will curve, is going to be a wider radar than a shorter club. When we get to the shorter club, we'll see how the radar moves less left and right and more long and short.
Left side, left side, left.
We're like 75 yards closer here at 69 yards to the hole. The difference between this and the longer shot is the longer shot with a 9-iron would be a longer distance left and right from the hole. These shots will have a 10-yard variance long and short. So it's pretty similar. It's just that the brazier of shot dispersion, which is to the side like this on long shots, shifts lengthwise. You actually can end up with the same distance from the hole, just on a different angle. And that's the problem. It's very clear the longer versus shorter approach produces a different shot pattern. But once you get around the green, it's all the same thing. Chipping and putting is what we need to keep our game in check. When it comes to a 200-yard or 300-yard tee shot, you have to look at the landing area as well as the area it's going to roll out into. On a hole like this with water to the left and OB to the right, there's not enough space if we divide the drive distance by 4. 300 yards divided by 4 is 75 yards. We don't have that. 200-yard tee shot divided by 4, you get 50 yards of space is the requirement. It's so much easier to hit the fat part with a shorter club, and just depends on your skill level and how much space you actually need. We've got about 260 to the hole, so we're going to go up over the corner here, and we're going to lay up to a beautiful wedge in hand.
Perfect shot.
That's correct, Wendy. Yep. Where the wall is where the OB ends. I've gone through somehow. The opportunity of having a second shot from the actual hole we're playing is a very good sacrifice to make, rather than OB or, as you'll see, this strange punch shot. And what happens from here is I now have tough decisions to make. If my skill level doesn't understand the trajectory of my shots, how am I going to punch this out effectively? And now I have to avoid trees and an electric box down there just to get the ball in play. Can't control what shot I'm going to have into the green, whereas a clear shot, I can control what I'm going to have into the green. And now look at this awkward line on old flower bed. So I have to grip down on the 6-iron and hopefully avoid that electric box. I mean, I'm an absolute animal. I'm an absolute animal. We're in the rough, 117 yards away. It's a bit of a pity because no spin in the rough, but that's the result of the tee shot, meaning we couldn't have much angle besides to put the ball here. Anything further left would have hit the trees. The colorful ball from the middle of the fairway, it was an intentional, proactive shot. This was a shot to get back in play with not much control. So the ball's above my feet. The grass is longer, could help me in fact, in this instance, because if I catch it properly, it could land short and roll up the slope to the pin cut on the top of the slope. Now, yanked the hell out of that. Certain challenges will never go away, so the ball's still above my feet here, except I have much more control over the spin of the ball because I'm off a tighter lie, the fairway, which is just brilliant because it's a strike we know, whereas in the rough, on guessing shots, we don't really understand or know in the moment exactly what's going to come out. But from 100 yards with an intentional layup, I have a beautiful 56-degree in. Now when it comes to the ball being above my feet, I like to aim this out to the right and just let it turn over by itself using the physics of the shot. Over green, mate?
Maybe on, huh?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The 3 shots I hit with the driver ball were a lot of calculations and guessing. The 3 shots I hit with a 200-yard drive were well calculated and clinical shots working out perfectly to the back of the green.
Stop, please.
Okay, Caddy, this ball is so dirty. You want a tip?
Oh,
So why don't you clean my golf ball?
sorry. Sarawabi. Go. Go.
Wow, right on line, man.
In the horn. In the horn. Nice pa.
Whether you hit a 200 or 300 yard tee shot on approach shots, the best thing you can have is a rangefinder. I use the Red Tiger rangefinder, which is currently on promotion on Amazon. Check the link in the description. You get your distances very accurately, you get continuous scanning mode, and you have vibration pin lock. Brilliant. Check the link in the description. Absolutely money. Got a 200 yard shot here. We're going to hit the 185 yard club because the wind's with us, so it's going to help us to sail it into the back pin position there. I caught a bit of a heater there. We actually went through that bunker into the trees here. So we're sitting with 100 yards, and the best thing I can do is chip out sideways, but that doesn't guarantee anything because I have to go through that bunker again with this tree in my way. So the next best thing is to punch this, but I have that tree down there, so I have to keep this low. I have to pre-accept my best shot is going to be from the bunker down there or just short with a pitch over the bunker. I don't have many other options just because my angle is completely taken by the bunker. Let's go, I have to go 4 iron because the 6 iron punch is going to hit that tree down there. Now this is a very dangerous shot for us because a lot of the time we feel we have to de-loft it. When you de-loft it, you smother it into the ground. So what I'm actually going to do is just open the face just a little bit, just open it a bit at like 1 o'clock, less than 1 o'clock, and then grip it while it's open and then just hit a chip shot so that I don't smother it and leave myself just 10, 20 yards in front of me. Not much we can do. And now let's just punch that and accept the bunker. Oh, it bounced out of the bunker. 8 iron chip. We're going up the slope, so we should add a bit more loft, toe down. Okay, we're going to go just dead at it as a double breaker. Make it land on the green. Such a difficult one to read because if I go left it may actually pull off to the left. Proportions are the same on this one. We're going to hit the 8 iron again, get it to roll all the way up there. Come on, Maddie. Now we've hit that dome. If you go right of the dome, you finish right of the cup. You go left of the dome, finish left of the cup.
Nice pa.
On the par 5, it's always tempting to bash a Rooney, your big dog up there, which is fine if it's performing. Mine normally performs on this hole because I have a lot of landing area in the 300 yard zone, which is money for me. If that landing zone was much shorter or much further away and it tightened up at 290, 300, I have to scale back, and that 200 yard shot is absolutely money to stay in play on a par 5 to at least give myself the chance at a birdie putt. We still have a long way in, and we know we can only hit 185 to 200 yards, so that's what we're going to do into the open space up there and hopefully have an approach in. What we found is that the scores are pretty similar, but let's not look at the score. Let's look at the stress and the amount of decisions we have to make based on where we're putting the ball. I've had much more fun low stress hitting the shorter clubs than I have hitting the driver. Of course, on a par 5, if you get that ball in play perfectly with the driver, you are going to have a humongous advantage with 100 yards closer to the hole. Of course, keeping it in the play into the correct areas is the trick. What the hell is that, a concert? So we leave ourselves 134 yards, which is a free throw distance. Absolutely money for me to hit my 48 degree. Downwind, I know it's a perfect number. When your ears prick up like a dog getting his bowl rattled with new food.
Nice shot. Nice shot. Nice shot.
So often when you hit the ball longer, you're going to find yourself in kind of different positions versus shorter and more in a narrower shot radar. I've given myself an uphill chip here. Now if I take the 56 or 60 degree, I'm going to add so much loft, turning it into 64, 68 degree. So I'm going to take the pitching wedge, turn it into basically a 52 degree, and swing it as if I was chipping a 52 degree off a flat lie. I'm going to get my shoulders level with the slope. I don't want to dig it into the turf. Let's see. There we go, absolutely money. Caddy, you are the best caddy in the world. No, not for anything else other than cheerleading. Congratulations. When you want to plant feathers on the greens, you take your divot tool, you fix your pitch mark, you stick your feather in the ground, you take the putt. It works 60% of the time, every time. Just don't forget in the green, it's one of the things people do and they have to buy more. Stick it in, putt, make the bird, take it with you. A big difference you'll notice with hazards or doglegs is that if you hit the 200-yard shot, your line is very different from a 300-yard shot. So you're playing a different golf course entirely, but that means your puzzle changes. It doesn't mean that now you suck or that it's more difficult. It means your puzzle changes. Notice how the difference between these two approaches is the game with the longest shot means you need better wedges, better short irons. The one with the shorter shot means you need better hybrids, better long irons, better mid irons, and then a good chipping game. Lag putts will be coming a lot more for 300-yard drivers because now they're hitting more greens, but often not very close to the hole. So there's a lot of nuance in the two approaches, but you'll find the game inside 100 yards stays exactly the same. Well, it's a big problem when you hit a shot like that, only 200 yards. That's damn disgusting, man. I'm not gonna lie, I do have new shoes on. They're a little bit lower than my normal shoes, so I'm struggling to find the low point of the swing exactly. I might change them at halfway. A lot of people are going to poo-poo hitting it shorter because now you're further back in the rough if you don't hit the fairway, which is all well and good, but let's not use fringe arguments to disqualify valid options. If you hit it in the rough off target 2 times out of 5 and you're less off target, you're generally less behind trees on shorter clubs because they can't travel deep into the rough. When you hit longer clubs and you go the degree offline, the longer distance puts you in deeper stuff. And if that happens 2, 3, or 4 times out of 5, now we're talking about higher percentage of deeper in the shit. So let's not use fringe arguments to disqualify things. It's something that really messes with people's mind. So from 200 yards, we just have to chip this back over the bunker. And now we'll have a pitch onto the green. And we let it just slide in there. Inside 100 is where we're going to shave a lot of strokes, especially if we have a short tee shot, and especially when we get it into trouble and have to punch out. What I like to think of is wedge matrix. Dave Peltz, he has 9 o'clock, 10 and 11 separate areas that you can hold your club and then swing through for different distances. We are not Lydia Co. We don't need a wedge swing for every 2 yards. We just need one. We have the full swing, and then we have the 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock arm, 90 degrees with your club. Do this with your wedges up even down to 9 iron, and you're going to have an additional distance, a half club distance that you can now add to your arsenal. So from 65 yards, I'm going to try the 48 degree 9 o'clock Dave Peltz wedge matrix shot, and hopefully it works out. It might not, then I have to go work on it. Okay, not too bad, just over the back. Inside 100, you're going to have to hit the green though, if you want to save some shots. I didn't hit the green, now I've got a big right to left breaker. Wow, difficult putt, yo. Difficult. Tung ok. Man, look at these people just leave their freaking dragging their spike marks along here. What an asshole.
In the hole. Yes.
ซ้ายนะ
ซ้ายค่ะ In the hole. Nice putting.
I'm going to blame the duck hook and some of the poor shots on those Mizuno shoes. I'm never wearing them again. I got my Inesis back on with my Victory insoles inside, and it's just night and day. Man, my feet were dying in there. So we got a 300 yarder, and we can probably get up near the green with it, as long as we stay disciplined and don't try hit it too hard.
Nice shot. Very nice shot.
Almost every item of clothing you see on me is available at waterplayergolf.com, where I make, I test, I create all the products and sell them to you, the players who are just like me. We got shorts, we got polos, we got hats, we got towels, we got putters, we've got head covers, we got everything over there. Get over to waterplayergolf.com, maybe just a feather divot tool with a beautiful ball marker set, absolutely money. Plant the feathers in the green to grow the birdies. Absolutely brilliant. Waterplayergolf.com, by me, for me, and by extension for you. Okay, with a 200-yard shot we have limited options, but it also gives us a very wide landing area. Oh man, these shoes, wrong town di kwa na? Yep, these shoes made all the difference. I just took those Mizunos right off and they're not going back on. Okay, we're going to go 52 degree and stick this one out well to the left and let the wind bring it back in there. Come on. 125 yards measured.
Sit. Make birdie. Make birdie.
Okay,
Yep.
you pay me then. Now what I'm seeing is you've got to play to your strengths, whether that's going to be on a certain hole, playing back to a certain distance, or getting it as close to the green as you can. On a 55-yard shot here, through a valley or over a valley onto a raised green with some slope on it, you know, not my favorite shot, but I've stuck that beautiful wedge from a perfect number for my 52, probably to about, I don't know, maybe 6 feet. I can't see from here. So I've got this ball above my feet like hell, probably a foot above my feet. Now I have to try to control this to stay on the green with a partial shot that I don't actually like that much. Not too bad, not too bad.
Nice birdie.
You need the feather divot tool from Water Player to be able to plant feathers to grow birdies on the green. You can't plant a normal feather on the green because you can't leave it there. So you use your divot tool, plant it in the ground, pick it up before you leave. Works 60% of the time, every time. At the 200-yard mark is the widest part of this fairway, which suits me just great because then it gives me a freer swing to get into that area. Yes, I'm going to have like a 200-yard shot into the hole, but we can get it to an area where we can chip and putt and accept maybe it is a bogey hole. All of these things that we're talking about today with 200 or 300-yard drive, of course, is going to rely on your skill level. An accurate 300-yard drive is highly skilled. A 200-yard tee shot can be highly skilled depending on your strength level. The nice thing about a shorter shot is that it doesn't go as far offline, and you can have a much cockier swing knowing that you have less danger to go into, less inhibitions, and a fluid, beautiful, aggressive swing. When you're worried about stuff, when you don't know where the ball's going to go with a long club, that can play serious games with your mind and produce shots that you don't normally hit. With 212 yards to the back pin here, I don't want to go get it close to the green because I have an uphill chip there and it's unsighted. I have to go walk up the hill, look where the ball's going to roll, waste time, hit a crap shot, then everybody's going to think I'm a slow dodo brain. So I'm going to hit my pitching wedge chip to about 100 yards. And then from 100 yards, I'm going to hit my sand wedge or 52 degree, stick it close, make the par. Easy game. Money, 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 money. Of course, a 300-yard drive, if it's accurate, is going to help you on par 5s and long par 4s the most. If you don't have a 300-yard drive, don't feel upset. Only about 5% of the population can hit it over 275, so don't worry about that. Just play your game and understand if you have 200 off the tee and you get a 410, 430, 440 yard hole, it's just a bogey hole. And from there, try to get the ball to a position where you can get up and down 50% of the time for a par. It may not always be greenside, maybe you have to lay back because it's a bad lie, but it's okay to accept your station. You can improve with a better strike, but that's golf. Everybody can play. That's why we have handicaps. That's why it's fun to beat your friends, even if you hit the ball 100 yards shorter than them and outscore them. What I love about this kind of video and this kind of golf is that no matter how I play, if I do the bombing drive and then have to hit wedges into the greens, if I hit the shorter shot and then lay up to places that the tee shot becomes irrelevant, it just shows me there's so many ways to play golf and enjoy the game. I actually personally prefer a lot more shorter tee shots and then taking out the driver when I really need it. If I'm playing 6,500 yard tees, if I play 7,000 yard tees, of course I need to hit the driver more, but also need to be careful of just keeping it in play and taking a bogey on a long or difficult hole instead of a double or triple, but trying to be a hero. Know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm super tired today. I only slept about 4.5.
Very nice, nice par.
Bogey. Getty, this one is a bogey, girl. This is a par. Par, this one?
Bogey.
Yeah. We can make it a YouTube par for you.
Yeah.
That's the difference between 200 and 300 yards. Check out this video over here on how to score with only a 175 yard shot. What a bouse.